brand new from Spoke Cycle out in Wake Forest, North Carolina. And when it was purchased new, I bought it with a Bluto fork, because just personally, I cannot stand a fully rigid bike. I had an old charge cooker fat bike before this, and I like the fat bike, but everybody's like, oh, fat bikes, you don't need a suspension fork. And that's true depending upon how you ride it. But I've used this for my backup bike when my other bike was in the shop, and putting the Bluto fork on it has really given it the trail functionality that I wanted it to have. Trail functionality that I've wanted it to have. So I recommend that as an awesome step to make any fully rigid bike functional, but especially a fast bike. And when it was originally built and bought, it came stock other than the fork as a 2x10 setup, which gave it you know, some old ceramic X5 front, X9 rear suspension, drivetrain, and that was mediocre. It was okay, but as the world went to 1x, and I updated the trail functionality of this bike and upgraded my trail bike, we made some changes. So without further ado, we've made it to the river here, and it is not gonna be good for stand-up paddleboarding as Haven arrives, but we'll do a quick bike check and we'll tell you what we're working with. So here is the 2017 Fat CAAD 2 from Cannondale fat bike. Again, this was 2017 when it was brand new, but we've done a bunch to it. So looking at the bike, we have got that extra large frame, which all of my bikes are, and you can see those monster 4.8 inch Jumbo Jim Schwalbe tires. Those have been replaced. They've done pretty good. I'm not super picky about fat bike tires. 760 millimeter aluminum bars that came with it, 50 or 60 millimeter stem that came with it, and a rigid seat post that came with the bike. And I had updated this with a dropper seat post, but have since taken it off as I've moved some bike parts around. Here is Haven, my little mountain biking girl. And there's the Bluto fork. If you look at it, it's super wide. It's only got 32 millimeter stanchions, which are not that big. It's more of an XC fork, but again, you're not hucking your fat bike off of sweet jumps and things like that. So definitely okay for what we've done. And then the Guide R brakes that you see here, these hydraulic brakes, are what came factory on the bike, and these 80 millimeter rotors on the front. And then on the back, we've got a 160 millimeter, rotor. But you'll notice that has been upgraded to the two-piece rotor, and that's part of the story. These are RE, which is technically their E fat bike or E bike brake set. And that leads me to one of the biggest knocks on this bike, and that is the brakes have just not been powerful enough as it needs to be to stop a big old giant fat bike. So over time, there was tons and tons of vibration coming through the rear seat stays, and we've replaced the brakes once, and even still now, when the brakes get worn out, it vibrates super bad. So I don't know what the answer is except for to completely redo brakes with a better brake set, but that might not be a bad idea to consider. Now, we got basic SI cranks, Chester pedals, but here we put a 34 tooth absolute black front chain ring to convert it from 1x11, where I had some old XO stuff. So you see the XO derailleur, and up front here, XO shifter on the bike, which gave it more range and simpler shifting with just the rear. That's a GX crank, which I'll get to in a minute, and everything around it. So that has given it a way better shifting capability from when the bike was stock. Now, the other thing that we ran into was that over time, the through axle here on the back side would actually come loose from time to time. And this was super concerning as it pushed itself out of this you know, screw in, and actually the whole rear wheel would get loose. Well, as fate would have it, a few months ago, that happened one too many times, and the frame became ruined right here where the through axle bolts in. Took it to the bike shop, and there was no way other than to go helicoil and drill it out and hope that the new through axle would fix it. In the end, we took it to Cannondale, and they were super awesome to warranty this bike. So this bike has got a brand new frame, it's got a couple of rides on it, and we ended up having to replace, you know, put a GX cassette on it because the cassette and the chain had worn out. So it's got a new chain and cassette. It's running good, and this is my do everything monster truck bike, bless you, where we can take it to the beach. I can take it to the snow. I did a snow video where we are plowing through snow, and with the Bluto fork, it's also my backup trail bike. So I actually think this is the most versatile bike that I've ever owned. It's super fun. I love taking it to the farm. I love taking it to the beach. I love taking it everywhere. And it just, you know, plows through stuff and goes over stuff. So, you know, the fat bike trend is kind of dying out, as most people would say, but I definitely believe that it is an awesome bike. If you are not just looking for a trail bike, but a bike to do a bunch of other different really cool stuff, it'd be a great option to consider if you can find them. I'm actually considering selling it to look for a new fat bike that I might be able to do some other cool different things with, or to look at my next bike build. So at any rate, definitely my third bike in the stable now, and it is an awesome bike. Before I forget, we've got some old Aragon grips that need to be replaced. We'll take care of that, and some brake pads to upgrade the braking like I was talking about. But otherwise, I support the flat bike movement, and if you find one, get out there and find that float.